Awesome. Welcome to the second to last episode of Pod at the Nod, here on the Irish Pubcast.
All right.
Yep.
Happy to be here.
Thank you, thank you. It's been a wonderful year, but sometimes we gotta let things go.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. For sure. My guest today is Tristan Macker of Macker Seafood, and welcome to the show, Tristan.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, give me a background of your beginnings to now.
Oh, gosh, that sounds like a lot. Beginnings till now, huh?
Yep.
About what? Beginning like the market, the restaurant,
Life.
or life.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we'll get to the market.
Okay.
Market.
Well, I was born. That happened. I don't know, man. I've just always been a kind of wild kid. Like to paint, draw, ride a bike, skateboard, do most, what most little kids did. Just I don't know. And then had a great family. Uh, Mom and dad were awesome. Still there, still kicking it. Just had a good Christmas with them. That was nice. And they really put me in the right direction. My dad was always, as long as I can remember, he was a commercial fisherman, so always in the mud digging clams and oysters. It's just what I wanted to do.
Absolutely.
I wanted to be like him.
Heck yeah. I feel you on that one. My parents dragged me to work early when I was like 9 years old.
hmm
And so my parents wanted me to take over their restaurant. I'm like,
Mm.
I don't like
The
this.
restaurant's a pain in the ass. I got the restaurant now, but I'm like, can we just rewind and go back to where it was just a truck and a boat, and simpler times.
Life was much simpler back in the day. Absolutely. And so, what are your like fishing trips like?
Um, Most of them, it's funny that you call them fishing trips. I mean, that's what it's called, but most of them, honestly, I'm not even using a fishing pole. I started out in the river, clamming and oystering, and you're basically just going into a creek with a bucket, getting in the mud, getting dirty, taking a bucket and throwing clams and oysters in there. And then now I do a lot of crab trips, which that's pretty fun, just going and pulling crab traps. And, we were talking about this earlier, but basically just, all the traps stay in the water. I go out there, I put bait in them, drop them in the water, come back a couple days later, dump the crabs out, put more bait in the water, and throw them right back in the water. And it's pretty nice. And it's I'm out there on the river for about 4 or 5 hours and just kind of by myself, jamming out to music, pulling crab traps.
That's pretty neat. What kind of bait do you use?
Fish, which actually works out convenient now that we have the fish restaurant because we can keep all our scraps from the market and restaurant and throw those in the crab traps. But mostly fish, and you can they'll eat just about anything, including other crabs. So, but no, you just but whatever I can find is cheapest, honestly.
What are your favorite spots? I know that one of your favorite spots is tattooed on you.
Yeah. Yep. So Matanzas Inlet is basically where I grew up fishing, and Matanzas Inlet, St. Augustine. It's South St. Johns County, 8802. That's the number. So it's a beautiful spot up there. They got two inlets. It's actually some of the cleanest water in Florida because the big inlet just comes through and then it washes out in Matanzas, and so it's a really nice area. Beautiful. I bring my camera out there, take pictures. It's nice.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite places because the water is really calm
Oh yeah.
as compared to the other
It's
parts. Oh yeah. And I think my daddy goes out there and goes fishing all the
Yeah,
time.
it's a dangerous inlet. There's no jetty at Matanzas, so there's been lots of boats sunk out there just because you got to know the right spot to go out. But I don't even go out the inlet. I stay inshore, so
That's good.
it's nice.
That's good. Wowzers. And gosh, did you take A1A all the way up then?
Yeah, it's a pretty nice route. Just get on A1A and cruise the scenic route. Me and my dad go out together. It's nice. He actually turns 76 next month, and he's still in the river digging clams and oysters with me, which is nice. And it's a pretty good father-son bonding trip. We get in the truck. We got an hour drive up there, and we just roll up a couple joints and burn up there, and then get in the river, get muddy and dirty, make some money, and then roll up a couple joints and ride back. It's a pretty good trip, actually.
That is pretty awesome.
He's a cool dude, actually. He's cooler than me. He would tell you a better story than I could.
We were talking to him,
Yeah.
talked about him before, and your dad's life is like pretty much big fish. It was like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 What are some of those? Remember those crazy stories that you shared?
Yeah.
Which ones are some of your favorites?
Oh, I can't even remember all of them on the spot right now. It's funny though, because when I was younger, he always tells the stories over and over again. So I should be able to know him, but I always thought he was just old and repeating himself and not know him. But he just likes to hear his stories again. He likes to tell his stories. So I was like, no, I don't know if I could tell you one right now.
Oh, for sure. Indeed. Yeah, the book is amazing. The movie's amazing. I just love. That's like
Yeah,
I love that.
it's his lifestyle for sure, man. He's always got a story.
Awesome. And storytellers are like the best because like sometimes you go off on a tangent sometimes, but then you come back to where you're
Oh yeah.
supposed to be.
Yep. You get lost a little bit, but always come back to the point.
Absolutely. Indeed. Yep. Gosh, and I noticed your photography work in at the shop too at the Macker Seafood, and which is a really great restaurant. Go there. It's fantastic.
Yes, please.
And but yeah, there's one that really caught my eye. That's the wave, and it's like black and yellow, and it's between those two, like by the opposite of the bar.
In the restaurant?
Yep.
Opposite of the bar.
It's like a big old like wave, and it's like mostly black and yellow and white.
It's like you're inside the wave?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Okay, that was I just got actually a bag for my camera, and I've been wanting to get a waterproof housing for it, but you know, for the camera I got, that's like $2,000 for a used piece of equipment, you know. But I found a $10 bag, which is a little scary, but as long as I'm like jumping over waterfalls or something, you know, I think I'll be right. But it's a $10 bag, and I can put my camera in there, and I was just basically floating around in the ocean, taking pictures.
Wow, that's so nice.
It was pretty fun actually, but it's too cold to get out there right now.
Yeah. I love going in when it's like 80 degrees or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is the coldest December we've had in a while, man. It was warm last Christmas, but I won't get in that water right now.
Mm-hmm. No way. Absolutely not. Gosh, and what kind of camera do you use?
Nikon.
Oh, awesome.
Which Nikon's great. All the SLRs are good cameras. They make them so different. Like if I picked up a Canon, I'd never know what to do, you know. But if I pick up a Nikon, any Nikon, it's like I know exactly where to go with that. So.
Indeed, I'm Canon.
Yeah.
But I have like a T3, so I went to T3i.
Okay.
I'm slowly getting up there because they're so expensive.
Oh yeah, man, exactly. I got a cheap one. My cheap camera is $600. My lens is more expensive than the camera.
Jeez, oh man, how much did you spend on lenses?
I got my last lens was a wide angle lens. I spent $900 on.
Goodness.
So yeah, they're expensive for sure. And I want a bigger 300 millimeter lens because I got a converter because I like to take pictures of the moon and the stars and stuff. I got a converter and it doesn't fit my lens. I didn't realize it. And so, but the lens I want is like $3,000 for a used one, and I'm like, I don't have that.
Oh, same here.
So
that's how much I'm in debt. So, absolutely. Oh man, and I prefer like the vintage lenses. They're my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I like the vintage stuff, but I don't know, as far as for me, performance-wise, trying to use the camera, it's like, I don't know, I like the good stuff.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. Like when you had your music show on Wednesday, that was awesome. I shot
That was a good show.
A nifty
It was a
50.
good show. Thank you for those pictures. Those were good.
Oh,
I like it.
I'm glad you did. I put all the imperfections.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, what I was thinking, I might pull a few of them out and throw some Photoshop edits on it. All I do on Photoshop is basically brightness and contrast and stuff like that.
Awesome. Yeah, when it makes the crowd anonymous, that's why it's all blurry for the crowd. So.
I like it.
Indeed. But yeah, go for it and enjoy. And it was a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, can I stay for how long?
Oh, you're good. It was. The next band played for a couple hours. We were probably about midnight by the time we shut down. I think it was 1:00 when I got the last person out of there.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
If that's what time this show ended here, so good stuff.
And I'm always like, it doesn't start when the shows start for me. I'm up in the morning crabbing, and then I gotta go and do the show. So it's like it's exhausting. I'm ready to sleep.
What time do you usually go up?
It all depends. I've been kind of slacking lately. I like to be on the river at sunrise, but if I get drunk the night before, that doesn't really work.
Never
But
been.
what I've learned now is, I was so good at getting up when I worked for other people. But once I became my own boss, it was like, oh, I can sleep in. I'm not going to lose my job. Fuck it. So it's tough.
Most
I
definitely.
like it though. It's I wouldn't have it any other way.
Indeed. And how did you meet Scott from his supervillains?
Start. Oh my god, this is actually a pretty cool story because I've been total fangirl over the band for the past 15 something years, And my buddy lived in St. Thomas. They do a regular St. Thomas show, every year. And my buddy lived on a 50-foot trimaran in St. Thomas, and I would go down and visit him on the boat. And ever since COVID hit, they started doing Rock the Boat. And so I got invited by my buddy to the Rock the Boat on a 50-foot trimaran in St. Thomas, full free stay the whole time. It was just an epic vacation. And they played that show, and I basically got to meet my favorite band. And I don't know, Scart's a cool ass dude. I like him. So I traded him some stone crabs for some gear. I said, "Come play a show," and he did.
That's
Good.
awesome. Yep. He's such a nice fellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I want to go back down to St. Thomas, but my buddy sold the boat, so I don't have a boat to stay on now. So I'd have to pay full price.
Expensive.
Yeah, it's top dollar living down there for sure. Beautiful island though.
I don't even know where St. Thomas is.
It's pretty close to Puerto Rico area. It's U.S. Virgin Islands. So, 3-hour flight down south.
That's not bad.
Nah.
Yep. The farthest I've ever gone. Well, I drove to Miami because Wu Tang had a pop-up shop. I kind of
Nice.
missed out on it. So.
Nice. I think every time I see you, I compliment the Wu Tang.
Absolutely. My sister got me a Wu Tang shirt for my birthday and Christmas, and we were talking about like my birthday's at midnight, and she just said these are two shirts, one's for Christmas and one's for your birthday. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Scarp plays Wu Tang, and I joked. I said the only reason I hired you is to play Wu Tang, and he fucking did. It was awesome.
And it's so cool that he like lives like a regular life, even though he's a
Oh, yeah.
really famous fan.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
I think I heard like the Tom and Dan show that's on 104.1.
Okay.
And there was like some super villain stories there because
Nice.
they work together a lot.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So I was on that show. That was a fun time.
Nice.
And that's why I wanted to do this because I'm like, I wanted to like for the whole year I wanted to shine the light on Daytona. And there's like so many different styles of lifestyles out
It's
there.
a pretty cool town. It gets a bad rap, because there's a lot of junkies, but there's junkies in every fucking town, And it really has a cool past when the city kind of fucked it up, ran everybody out, But back in the '90s when I was growing up, it was MTV, and it was just a fun. It was we. My dad actually had a bar. It was called the Speed Shack, right where Ocean Walk Shops is right now. And in the back, our backyard was the band show. So it was just epic, dude. Like, oh, that's another shitty situation. Eminent Domain came and took that away. They said, here's a bunch of money. We want that spot. And unfortunately, we didn't own the building and we weren't leased in. So whoever owned the building probably got a ton of money, but we got just kicked out. I go into Wing House now and I joke with the girls there. I said, I used to live here. And they just look at me like, oh, you fucking drunk. Get out of here.
Wow.
It was a pretty cool spot right there.
I wonder what it was like back in the day because like I remember like living in Colorado and they would have like spring break and like all the rappers would perform and all the pop stars would perform and then like WCW happened at the Ocean Center and NWO formed and like gosh, Daytona Beach is like the coolest spot.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Famous.
I love it. All my friends say, if you're ever gonna do anything with yourself, you got to get out of this town. And then they leave, they come back, and I'm like, well, I'm still here. I got the beach right here. I got my business there. I do whatever I want. I mean, like, why do I gotta get out of this town? I love it here. Anywhere where you're close to the beach is a good spot for me.
Absolutely, that's why I love it here. It's like it's just an amazing town. I thought California had the best beaches, but then here is pretty gnarly.
Well, we had one of the best beaches. It's washing away now.
Dang hurricane.
Yeah, it's sad, man. but it's still a good spot.
Absolutely. And what got you into like having like you have a seafood shop and then you have the restaurant
Hmm.
and then you have the art gallery and the performance space, if you will. Like how did that all come about?
So, I mean, of course, I started the restaurant. It grew. It started as me uh, wanting a building to put a walk-in cooler in, and I got the building to put the walk-in cooler in, and I said, well, I was thinking of doing a wholesale, and I was like, well, because we've always done wholesale. I said, this building that we got is retail spot, so we opened up for retail, and as soon as we opened up for retail, we have customers walk away because we couldn't cook the stuff up for them. They wanted it cooked, so it turned from the market to steaming up, and then the dine-in, and then all that. It just kept growing. I mean, it's been 11 years now. It kept growing, and then I just kind of got bored with just like I thought that like after 10 years I would be rich and have plenty of money and I could do whatever I want. So I've been neglecting my arts and my music and all that stuff. So finally, after 11 years, I'm like, I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. So I really wanted to make a change. And I don't want to work the rest of my life. I want to, if I'm going to work, I want to have do something that really makes me happy, which is art and music. I mean, yeah, I love being on the boat, fishing and all that shit, but it's like no, I'd rather be drinking a beer, fucking partying, having fucking music playing, painting, all that stuff. So yeah, it kind of just kept growing and evolving, and I realized that once it got to the point we're at now, I didn't want to just be a restaurant and market. I want to do what really makes me happy.
So that's what life's all about too.
Absolutely.
Find that work life fun balance, even if it's struggling, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we were talking about when we were talking at at the show, you wanted to venture off into entertainment. What's dragging you into entertainment? Like you want to do like comedy and music and all that good stuff too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, mostly music, honestly. I'm uh I always play guitar. I just got a trombone, so I want to start a ska band.
That's
And I figured,
awesome.
what I mean, like I don't know, nobody wants an amateur guitar player in the band, but they definitely take a trombone player. But I
Absolutely.
don't know, man. It was just more my entertainment, really. Like whatever I want to do, kind of thing.
Do you have a favorite ska band or a couple of them?
Yeah. I mean, Less Than Jake is probably my all-time favorite, but recently I've been really into the Mad Caddies. My buddy in the St. Thomas actually is touring with Mad Caddies right now. He's a whole other story right there, but we don't need to get into that.
Indeed.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
It's something about the horn. I played the horn and I played the trombone in middle school. Switched over to the bass, and now I'm like, I want. It's been 25 years, but I want a trombone now. So
absolutely.
I sold a painting and I bought a trombone. I was looking at it for like 2 weeks. I was like, man, $200. I don't know if I want to spend that. I don't know. And then I sold a painting for $200, and I was like, that's exactly how much I needed for the trombone. Why the fuck not?
Absolutely. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I
So
haven't
it
heard
just
of
made sense.
Lesson Jake in like a long time. Like I saw him in concert with Lincoln Park back in the day with Park
Okay.
Revolution. So
Yeah,
those were the days.
I just saw him this past year. Hurricane Fest or Hurricane Party is West End Sanford. That was a pretty fun show.
Indeed. I
They're,
love
they're,
going
they're
back
getting
there.
old, so I mean they're not old, but the band's been around for a while, so I wanted to make sure I got another show in before they a lot of bands that I grew up to are just like done playing music. I mean, not done playing music, but done touring and stuff. It's like I think NoFX is doing their last tour this year, or I don't know. Like it's sad. I mean, I get it. Everybody has to stop sometime. Nothing lasts forever.
Absolutely.
But
I remember seeing No FX in LA. And they did Ripped in its entirety.
they're killer. One of the best punk bands ever.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I've never seen a crowd that's crazy as theirs.
Yeah.
Like I was pretty much like they didn't give us a photo pit. We had to like stand on our knees or like and like the whole crowd behind us was just like bumping like crashing into our legs.
Yeah.
And it was like a conveyor belt of humans. It was like the most wildest show ever. Oh man, and I got to cover Little Big Fish out there and Big D and the kids
That's another
too.
one of my favorite ska bands. They're awesome.
Absolutely. And,
I would love to see them. I never have.
ah, definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
Definitely go see
Oh
them.
yeah, I heard they're amazing in concert.
Very good and tight. And if you ever go to Colorado, and my friends are in a ska band, they're called the Rage Tones.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I'll check it out. I've never been to Colorado, but that's definitely on my list of places to go.
Oh yeah, it's heaven on earth for
Yeah,
sure.
I believe it.
You can go to my festival.
All right,
Yep.
when's that?
Every July.
Cool.
Yep, we even have a flyer on the back that takes place in Daytona, and I put everyone that's on the bills on one poster.
Nice.
Yep. But yeah, it's free to get in, so you can catch the Rage Tones or
Cool.
something there.
Cool.
Absolutely. Good stuff. So I was like going through your Facebook, and I saw that you were a skater too in at Ocean Center. One
Used to
time.
skateboard. I mean, every time I try now, I get hurt. And it's not even like I don't know. I just try to do the stuff I used to do, and it doesn't work out like it used to. And but I skated most of my life. I always thought I was going to be a professional skateboarder and never have to do a real job or nothing like that. But that didn't work out. Uh, you know. But that was a pretty fun show. That was in the Ocean Center. That picture. I actually when Bethune Skate Park opened up about I don't know how long ago, 10 or 15 years or whatever, probably about 15 years. They had a contest, opening day contest, and I won first place on the contest, and that got me entrance into the Ocean Center contest. And then I blew that contest. I did horrible that one, but at least I got to skate in the Ocean Center. Not many people can say they did. So
That is pretty
that was
awesome.
nice. It was nice. But now, like nowadays, I skate to the bar. That's about it. Like I said, my ankles are so fucked that it's like I don't mean to cut so much. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, cool. But my ankles are pretty torn up, so it's like I don't know. I'm realizing now that as much as I love it, you know, comes a time when I need to be easy. I want to be able to walk when I'm older.
Most
So
definitely.
I like surfing now, even though it's cold and I'm not surfing. At least when you fall surfing, you're falling into water and not on the concrete.
For sure. Indeed. Any how high did they even keep track of like the ramps when you were skating that high? Because like that's the picture I saw.
Yeah. I mean, not really, but like that was probably a 4 or 5 foot ramp, and I was probably about 4 or 5 foot in the air off of it. So I was about 10 foot up in the air.
Holy smokes, that's wild.
Yeah. I don't like coming back down on the ramp, so I'm going basically to flat. And so when you fall, you're just basically jumping up 10 foot and falling on the ground. That's why I can't do it like I used to, man.
I don't blame
I
you.
wish, man, but no.
Any scary stories out in the sea when you're surfing?
Um, Not really. I don't I don't know if I don't surf like I used to for sure, but there's been a couple scary times. Like I was in Nicaragua surfing one time, and my leash snapped, and I was like, this was like 15, 20 foot waves, and I was about a mile offshore. That was kind of scary, but I made it
Oh
in.
man, that's some scary stuff.
Yeah, so I haven't been down there in a while. That's good surf down there.
You travel a lot, like St. Thomas, Nicaragua. Where else have you been in the world?
Not really a whole lot of places. I go to the same places. I've been in Nicaragua twice. I've been in St. Thomas 4 times, um, and then basically that's it. I've been up the East Coast. Oh, I went to Hawaii once. That was nice, actually. Um, it was a hell of a flight, though. You know, Florida to Denver, or no, Florida to somewhere in Texas, then to LA. It was like a whole day of flying. I'm like, Hawaii was nice, but I don't ever want to do a flight like that again, dude.
I was this close to doing that. 'Cause I got accepted to the Aloha Comedy Festival, and then COVID happened,
Oh yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not going to Hawaii after all.
Yeah. Actually, when I went to Hawaii, it was right before COVID hit, and it was funny. It was funny when I came back. I was in the airport, and this was the end of December of 2019, and I saw a lot of people wearing masks, and COVID wasn't even on the news. It wasn't out yet, and I was just like, why are all these fucking people wearing masks? What the hell? And then I got home and I got sick as hell. So maybe I had COVID then. I don't know, but I got sick as hell, and I was like, damn, I guess I should have been wearing a mask. Like.
It's like Planet of the Apes for Planet of Masks.
Yeah, yeah. And then after that, dude, it hit hard, and everybody was wearing masks. I was like, okay.
Indeed. Florida, like Daytona lasted like 4 months, and other
Yeah.
cities have last couple years.
Yeah.
And
And I don't usually get sick, you know. And I mean, I was around a bunch of people that tested positive for it, and I never got sick. Really, like I said, that first time when I came back from Hawaii, I got sick, but I don't even know if that was it. You know, I don't know, man. I got a good immune system. So.
same here. Like, I take my vitamins and say my
Yeah,
prayers.
I always say that I ate a lot of dirt when I was a kid, so I built up my immunity there.
So the fishing that you've done,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
awesome. I see Seafood Punk on your shirt. I've seen some hanging up at
Yeah.
the shop too.
Yep.
What's
I
the
actually.
story?
Yep. I made that shirt. I
Yeah.
designed the logo, hand drawn logo. Um, you know, it's basically who we are. We're seafood punks. You know, we like to rock out and we like seafood.
Absolutely. That's the
It's a
way to go.
lifestyle, you know.
Indeed. I can eat salmon all day.
Yeah.
And your fish
Oh yeah.
sandwiches.
We had some salmon yesterday. Actually, it was good.
Your fish sandwiches that I had that Ryder Cole recommended.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Nice. Yeah,
How do
he's
you,
good. He's good. I like him.
how do you know Ryder?
Um, I've known him for I don't know. He was friends with my brother, I think, is how I met him. But yeah, I've known him for 20 years maybe, and he's actually we're one people in the band that I want to start a ska band with. So they're like, man, we need a trombone player. I was like, well, conveniently, I just bought a trombone. But Ryder's good, dude. I like him.
He has quite a voice on him.
Oh yeah, he's great. Yeah, he plays at the restaurant. Usually about once a month on a Friday. So like I said, we're trying to get a show this month, and I'll probably have him open up, and then another band to come afterwards.
It's just, I promised him that I'd go and see him because like he was my guest last month, and I'm like,
Okay, yeah,
always a man of my word.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
What
Oh
is
yeah, you came out. That's right. That's right. You came out one of the last times. You actually just played this Friday. Or you were there? Were you there? No, you were there for the last one.
I went there on Wednesday for the
Yeah, Yeah.
hot roll
Yeah.
vibe.
yeah.
And your brother's in that band,
Mhm.
so that's pretty neat
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I wish they would play more, but you know, they all got busy lives these days. So punk rock always comes last.
Absolutely, especially when you get older. Yeah,
Oh gosh, yeah.
awesome. So, what else is happening on the calendar of January for you?
Um, I really haven't set anything up yet, and I know January and February are the slowest months of the year, so I'm like thinking I gotta get something coming up, but I don't like to plan very far in the future because I'm real good at just waking up that day and be like I don't want to do that. Why did I make plans? You know, so it's like I basically try to live every day as it is, you know. And of course, owning a business and trying to have shows, you have to plan stuff, which I hate. But I don't know. I really don't have too much planned for January, so that's why I was talking to you earlier. I was like, let's do a show, let's do something, you know.
I'd love
So,
that. For
so
sure.
yeah. Like I said, I was wanting to maybe get Scott's band to come out there for one of those shows or something. You know, just anybody that I haven't had yet. You know, anybody that hasn't played there yet that I can afford. Because as much as I would love to pay these musicians what they're worth, I'm trying to build a business here, and I don't have much money to work with. So
I feel you on that one.
it's tough. You know what I mean? But
Getting a return on
nobody
investment.
wants to work for free, but you know.
For sure, I feel you on that one. That's like return on investment is important, and so is profit. And
Yep.
that's the business.
Yep. You got to pay the bills, but then you got to think about, this is my life. You know what I mean? And I think I said this to you earlier. It's like we're all on a road to a destination. The road is your life to that destination. So yeah, once you get to that destination, there's always another destination to get to. So you better enjoy the road.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the ride there. It's
That's
tough though.
that's the tough part about being
It
a
is.
comic and an artist all around. Because sometimes like I've been doing stand up for like 5 years consistently, and like we rarely get paid. It's like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
exposure pays the bills over here.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just too many producers, not a lot enough talent buyers.
We always joke in the seafood business that we eat up most of our profits there.
Indeed, it's a good business though, but it's a lot of hard work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the price of seafood is just doubled in the past 10 years since I've been in it. So it's like, even when the recession hit real hard, it was like people didn't have money to do anything, but they damn well had money to eat good seafood.
Absolutely. That's what I loved about yours place. Is like when we met for the first time here during a comedy show, and I saw, and Ryder was my guest. And
Mhm.
like it was meant to be for me to try. I was driven by Macker Seafood.
Nice.
But I've never had any
Nice.
seafood, and like when you recommended the fish sandwich, I was like, man, this is so fresh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing like a fish sandwich, man.
And like when the chef came out with it, I was like, I ate with my eyes first. I was like, my eyes just opened up. Like, this is such a great fish sandwich. Awesomeness. But yeah, hopefully, there's some comedians that are actually touring in January, so maybe we can set
Yeah,
something up for them.
that'd be awesome.
Yep, they're coming down from Boston.
Nice.
Yep, and they're wild.
Nice.
They're wild.
Yeah, Boston sounds like a pretty wild spot. I've never been, but it's definitely on my list of places I need to go to.
Indeed, I've never been either. Like the furthest north I've been was Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, like I guess Jasper, Atlanta, or
Yeah.
Jasper, Georgia too. But
Yeah. I went to New York, but I was so young, I don't remember a damn thing about it, honestly.
indeed.
Because I've been up the East Coast, but never anywhere west other than Hawaii.
I do take it back. I went to Toronto, but that's when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
And like
Yeah.
you saw Niagara Falls and New York on the other
Nice.
side.
Nice.
That's as memorable that I remember from that trip. Good stuff. Good stuff. But I got to meet Mama Macker on the night.
She's sweet.
Yep.
She can be a handful, but she's so sweet.
Indeed. She was awesome. And I didn't know her, and I saw her at the restaurant, and I saw her at the show, and she's just so awesome.
Yeah. She told me, she's like, what time does, because, her son John's in the band that played. So, what time does John play? I said, about 11 o'clock. She's like, oh, I'm never going to make it to then. Or no, I just said 9 o'clock. I said, I'm never going to make it then. She was there till 11:30.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, you said you couldn't make it, but she stayed for the whole show.
That's awesome. And it's great to see like your parents are supporting your dreams in so many aspects.
It's nice to have them still around, and they said they can be a handful, and sometimes, but a lot of my friends that their parents are gone or don't live anywhere around, it's like, it's nice.
Good to have family.
Hmm.
Family first. Value. My sister's in town with my nephews, so we all got to spend time together and stuff. So
Nice.
my parents are here, so they're getting old.
Yep.
Yep.
Hmm.
I don't miss working with them though. That's for sure.
Oh no, it's a headache, man. I started the business, and then basically my dad got me into the industry. I started the business. My brother got involved right off the bat, and then about 5 years down the road, mom started getting involved, and now I'm like, oh man, I work with my whole family, and it's a headache sometimes. My dad lives at the market, so I'm like, I feel like I live with them again, back at the parents' house.
Indeed, for sure. Yeah,
It's nice though.
it took my dad to fire me for me not to work with him anymore.
Yeah, my dad can't fire me though.
Must be nice. Yeah, I was like 18 and I thought it'd be a good idea for me to move out finally.
Oh yeah.
I had it all planned out at 18, but no, we sure don't.
Oh,
Back
no.
yet.
No. Yeah. The older I get, the more I realize I don't have any clue what's going on. When I was in my 20s, I was like, I know exactly what's going on. Now, 10 years later, whatever, I'm just like, nope. The more I learn, the less I know.
For sure. I felt that way in LA when I lived out there for like 3 years. I'm like, it's lonely. Like the closest family I got is in Long Beach or Palmdale, which are both like an hour in different directions.
Hmm.
I'm like, I gotta move back home.
Hmm.
Yeah, Colorado's like, I need to move. I'll probably retire there.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'll
that's-
probably retire in Daytona.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Awesome.
If I ever retire. I don't know. The way it looks, I might just work till I die.
For sure. But as long as you have fun doing it,
Mm,
that's all that matters.
exactly. It's fun most of the time.
So we talked about Big Fish. Do you have any other favorite movies or books?
I don't know. Not really into too many movies. I mean, of course, there's a few classics that are all-time favorites. Fight Club. definitely a great movie. As far as books go, I just now kind of started reading again over the past like 5 years, and I don't like fiction. Like I'm all about science. Like I want to learn about space and stars and the planets and just everything. You know, I feel like the more I learn, like I said, the more I learn, the less I know. But I just want to keep learning. You know, I thought that you go through college and that's all you got to learn for the rest of your life. But now I'm just like, no, I want to keep learning until the day I die. So, so I really get into some nerdy books, but I like it.
Absolutely.
I got Carl Sagan and Neil Tyson. Real fun fun stuff to read. Like Neil's comparing planets and stars to food and French fries and shit. It's fun.
That's awesome. I saw Jason from the Wu Tang Clan like freestyle about all that nerd stuff
Nice, nice.
on Matt Neil's show,
Okay.
and I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the guy. He's so funny. It's great because he basically brings like comedy and science in together because he's telling you facts about how the world and the universe works, but he's saying it funny. He's always got comedians with him. It's good.
Yeah. He's been on Joe Rogan a couple times,
Mhm.
but Joe Rogan's interviews are just so long.
Yeah, exactly. You know, everybody's got their opinion about Joe Rogan, but he does interview some really cool people. He does.
I agree. I watched one where like just like the little clips of like ancient Egypt and stuff.
Okay.
And there's a guy that did like the Netflix show about ancient Egyptians, and
Hmm.
like that's what I love is like that
Yeah.
archaeology stuff.
Oh yeah, man. It's so cool to learn about the histories and stuff of ancient civilizations that, we barely have anything left of them. You know what I mean? So we're just piecing the puzzle together. But it's pretty cool. I don't like to dwell on the past, but it's always good to know what happened in the past.
And all those underground cities and stuff. I'm like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been to Cambodia 3 times, and kind of like your flight to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you enjoy being on a plane for 20 hours and
Yeah.
10-hour layovers and go for
Oh
it.
gosh.
But I'm like,
Yeah.
but once you get to Cambodia, it's like it's awesome.
Yeah, it's well worth it for sure.
I spent most of my time in the villages, but I went to like Angkor Wat like 3 times or 2 times,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's like walking into a painting. Like
Nice.
this is not real, but it is
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Like, Take on me by Aha.
Yeah, it's surreal, basically.
Yeah, it's just heaven on earth.
Mm-hmm.
But there was like an underground city like underneath it, and they didn't know that there was an underground city until recently.
It's crazy. There's so much that we have no clue, honestly. We've just barely scratched the surface, is the way I look at it.
How do you think like the everything was built?
I don't know, man. You get these people that want to say, oh, they could never do that. It must have been aliens, but no, I think they're pretty smart. It was a lot of slave labor, is how it was built, probably, which is sad, But it's um, you know, just I don't know.
Seems like slave labor like they built everything
Oh
around
yeah,
the world.
oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know. People say stuff about like what's that like Abu Dhabi and like that area. And it's like most like they would like bring people there and like promise everything, and then they turn into slaves and build like all that stuff. And I'm like, if I don't doubt it, or either way, it's like it's sad, but I'm sure it's true. Some
Oh
of
yeah,
it's true.
oh yeah. I mean, it's one of the main things. It's always been around. It doesn't matter what civilization. Until now. I mean, we still basically have modern day slavery. But it's still around.
Mm-hmm. So when I was like growing up as a kid, my parents put me to work at 9 years old. I thought that was like child labor. Like wash the dishes. There's too many gangs in Pueblo. Go in and wash the dishes for us.
I liked working when I was 9 years old. My dad actually owned a jewelry stand on the Main Street Pier. This was back when it was privately owned. Now the city owns it, but it's privately owned, and we just sold mostly cheap tourist stuff. We made hemp necklaces, T-shirts. We sold sunglasses, and the sunglasses were great. We went to the dollar store and paid $1 for the glasses, and then sold them for $5 on the pier. It was a pretty good gig. But no, I liked working when I was that age. But it was like it wasn't like I was washing dishes or doing nothing like that. But my dad would leave us up on the pier too. With me and my brother, I was probably like 7 or 8, and he was 9 or 10. And we definitely shouldn't have been running a business back then. But he would just leave us for hours. Here's a bank, sell this stuff, and he'd go and do his own thing, come back. It was great. I liked it.
That's awesome. That's a smart business
Oh
move,
yeah.
though. Like buy glasses for $1 and
Oh
sell them
yeah.
for five.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, honestly. And I grew up in that pier, on the pier and in that area on the boardwalk, and it's kind of sad now to see it just falling apart because it used to be such a cool area. All the arcades, the Ferris wheels, and the game, the rides and everything. Up Captain Daryl's had a bar, and then you had pool tables and stuff at the top. The pit stop was there. There was so much there. There was the haunted house there. There's a strip club on the corner, and now it's just like there's just nothing there. It's just like the Joyland I think is just shutting down. And the only one left now is Mardi Gras. It's like it's a ghost town now, but there used to be so much. I actually even thought about going and play skee ball tonight. I said, well, we got a couple hours to kill, but we just sat at the bar and drank and stuff.
The boardwalk is super dope, but like
Yeah.
every once in a while when I'm trying to kill time before a comedy show, I go there and like get some ice cream and just like check out the
Mhm.
different like there's 2 arcades on the boardwalk.
Yeah, like I said, and Joyland's shutting down, so it's about to be one now. Yeah, so it's nothing like it used to be for sure.
Indeed.
Once they took the cars off the beach, that changed everything. Because when the cars could pull down there and park, it was always a party scene. But as soon as they got the cars off, it just started dying and turned into a ghost town. And that was another thing that was caused by eminent domain. So eminent domain, the city basically destroyed our business, our family business there. Like I said, we had the best bar in town. We had a business on the pier, and then they shut the bar down because they wanted to build Ocean Walk. They shut us down. They took the cars off the beach, and that killed the business on the pier. And it was just like, thanks, guys.
Dang.
And they're trying to do the same thing now here with International. They're trying to just buy off the businesses. I'm sure Randy knows about that, but they're most of the business owners stuck to it, and they're like, no, fuck you guys. You said you'd never do this again. You can't do this to us. But eminent domain is a horrible thing, Just the rich people pushing the poor around.
And I saw that sign that's like right there, like they're gonna like do all kinds of stuff on the street.
Yeah.
Revitalizing it.
Yeah, I don't even really know what they're gonna do, but it's definitely looks like it's gonna be a big project for sure.
Like another word for that word on that sign was like might as well just called gentrification.
Yeah.
It's like,
They've been talking about it for a while. I mean, they were talking about doing a roundabout right here in A1A and International. I was like, that sounds stupid.
yeah.
Like,
There's nothing
what's
wrong
wrong
with
with a stoplight?
Indeed.
I don't know. I think they just make it chaotic over there. It's a big intersection to do that at,
It takes forever to cross because the lights don't want to work with you. Golly, I didn't know that you went through all that with your small businesses.
Yeah, if eminent domain didn't take that away, we would still have a business there, and it's such a good spot, but it's not ours anymore.
Indeed.
We should have been leased in, but they still would have kicked us out even if we were leased in. We just got some money out of the deal.
Yeah. And so they stopped. I didn't know they stopped putting cars, like letting cars on the beach.
Yeah, right. And that was, like I said, eminent domain. When they wanted to build Ocean Walk, they said, we're not going to build this building here if the cars are on the beach, because they wanted to make it safe for families to go out. The kids could run on the beach and not worry about getting run over, which I understand, but still, it was like that. Basically, the city was just like, whatever you guys want, and they did it.
And I remember, like back in the day, like there's like those black and white photos of just cars racing
Right.
on.
Yeah, back in the day, there was 3 rows of cars parked on the beach. Like there was so much beach there. Now you can barely fit 1 car on there. But yeah, it was a whole different world back then. It's like I like it. I was young growing up around there. I wish I was a little bit older. I could have seen a little bit more of the party scene, but for the most part, I grew up around there, and it was a whole different world.
Indeed. sad. The way that time just ruins everything
Yeah, it's
sometimes.
sad, but life is always a changing. It's like the only guarantee, the only thing that's consistent is change, basically.
It's like you gotta evolve
Hmm.
sometimes, even if it's bad for
Hmm.
everything. That's how I like. That's why I left the Sunset Strip. I was like living there almost every single night, and then like they just tore down the House of Blues just so they can put like an apartment complex right on top of it,
Oh yeah,
and they're taking away the
yeah.
Viper
That's
Room.
horrible. That's
Yeah.
horrible. You know what? Really, that just reminded me of what I saw the other day is Barnes and Nobles. I used to go there as a kid, buy books and read, and it's a Wawa now. They've knocked down a Barnes and Nobles to build a Wawa. I'm like, man, that really bummed me out.
They relocated the barn to like the outlet places.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's where they moved it to.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Where's that at?
The Tanger
Oh,
outlet.
Tanger. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't ever go there.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I pull in there and I just get confused. I'm like, all right, I don't know where to go. Get out of here.
Yeah. So much
I'm
anxiety for
old
me
school
too.
with this shit, man. I don't know too much to throw me off.
That's why I go to like the metaphysical bookshop there on ISB and the
Okay.
other one, the Abraxas, I believe.
Oh yeah, so I know that's a really cool spot, but every time I go there, it's closed. I don't
Oh.
know if he just does his own schedule, kind of, but I don't know. So last time I went there, it was closed, and it was during regular business hours. They were just closed, and there wasn't any sign on the door saying so. I don't know. I didn't know what to do. As much as I hate supporting Amazon, usually I just order shit off Amazon now.
Yeah.
It's so sad, man. It's killing our local economy, but what can you do?
Yeah. I barely squeezed in at the metaphysical one. It was like 5 o'clock, and they closed at 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
I was like looking for like books of my favorite authors.
Mm-hmm.
I just ended up going home with like three Joan Rivers books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said I mostly just read fact and science, but I did just get a Bukowski book, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Indeed.
That's wild, man.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
Was it Ordinary Tales of Madness, or something like that? I can't remember the name of it, but it's good.
He has a book called or a movie called Firefly or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never really read a lot by him, but he's definitely one of my favorite writers.
Absolutely. I love different styles, and I read the Joan Rivers one, and it turned out that it was like autographed in there from like
Oh,
1985.
nice.
Yeah, and then like I opened it up again, and there was like another like greeting card in there. I'm pretty sure it was like it says "You have the magic touch," and
Oh,
then
wow.
and there was like her handwriting and the greetings card. I'm like, no way! And they sold it for like half price.
Wow.
Yeah, so I ended up buying three books for like $30 or something.
Nice.
Yeah, I love.
I still haven't read the book that I was named after.
Oh, really? What's the book that you were named after?
The It's Tristan Jones. It's like the story. I don't remember. I don't even know the name of it. Sailor. I don't know. Something about. I don't know. I feel bad because I've read like the first third of the book, and then I just keep putting it down.
I have a bad habit of doing
Yeah,
that.
like I definitely should have read this book since my dad got my name from it, but
Definitely keep reading that one.
yeah.
I was reading the Clive Barker's like A through Z of horror, and it's like a BBC show too. And I put that down and I picked up like the Joan Rivers book. I'm like, I'm just gonna. So she's a dirty comic,
Nice.
and like the book that I read was like from 1985 or whatever. And it's just like dirty, like
Nice.
dirty, and like illustrations to go with it. So, oh boy, it was good stuff. Awesomeness.
85. That was a good year. That was when I was born.
Really? I was born in '82.
Nice.
Yep. So that's why I'm like, can't believe I'm turning 40 like
Oh wow.
at midnight.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I forgot tomorrow's your birthday.
Yep. Well, if you want to be specific, like 5 at night or something.
Okay. All right.
And that's why I put like all my horoscope signs. They didn't know like everyone had like 4 signs,
Yeah.
the moon sign and the sun.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really study much of that bullshit. Like, no offense, but so I study astronomy, not astrology, because it's and it always gets me in trouble when I start talking shit because a lot of people love astrology, and I get it. There does have something to do with the time of year that you're born, but a lot of those signs have actually changed over the years to where, because the Earth is on a tilt and it wobbles, so about every 2,000 years, your sign actually changes.
Oh,
So if you were born in the last century, your sign is not what you think it is, really. So it's a kind of a funny concept, but I don't mean to rain on anybody's parade or nothing, but no, I like to study the stars.
hopefully people from Casadega's not watching.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I put all four of my signs on my Instagram, so I'm not on the dating apps,
Yeah.
And so like,
Just a headache.
yeah, so might as well just go straight to my Instagram because like you're gonna go to there anyways. So there's my signs.
I don't do Instagram. I can't even barely keep up with Facebook enough. So it's like, I need one thing to promote my art and business, but I can't handle all of
Yeah.
them.
I plug my shows and I run away. I'm like,
Yeah.
here you go.
I finally had to delete it off of my phone too, so I'm not like, just getting notification after notification. So if I want to go on any of those sites, I got to sit down at my computer and do it. So that way when I'm out and about, I can focus on my life. And, yeah.
That's pretty much the way to go because everyone's like walking around
Oh,
like
yeah.
zombies.
Yeah.
And
No,
like,
it makes my morning in the bathroom take twice as long because I'm just sitting there scrolling away, and then I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, why am I still in here? What am I doing?
oh man, it's getting so bad that in like South Korea, they put like the red light and green light on the ground because everyone's on the ground looking,
Mhm.
and that's how they can tell it's when it's time to cross the street.
Oh wow.
I'm like,
Oh, because they're looking down at their phones.
yeah. I was like, we've gotten to.
Oh, it's scary. I had a kid walk out right in front of me, and I had to slam on the brakes. I would have just about ran him over because he was looking at his phone.
Jeez.
And I don't know, now when I go out of the bars, a lot of times I'll just turn my phone off. I still have it on me in case I need an emergency call or something. But like, when I'm sitting there bored at the bar, I pull my phone out and I'm like, oh, it's off. It's off for a reason, and I put it right back in my pocket. I don't want to be one of those guys who sit in the bar playing with my phone. I came to the bar to hang out and socialize, not talk to the people I always talk to.
That's why, like, whenever I interview guests, I'm like, make sure you put your phones away. And then, like, whenever we have like the comedy show, we put that rule thing up there. It's like, put your phones away. Don't
Yeah.
record people.
Yeah.
It's rude. You're not TMZ.
Mhm.
You're at a comedy show. Live in the moment. Yeah.
And that's one thing that I've realized lately is that the present moment is all we have. And if you're worried about somebody else somewhere else or what happened yesterday or tomorrow or whatnot, it's like you're wasting your time because all we really have is the present moment. The past is basically a thought that you're worrying about, or a thought. The past is a thought in the future, or the past is a thought in the present, and the future is a thought anticipated in the present. So right now, the present moment is basically all you get. Stop worrying about the future. Stop worrying about the past.
Think too far in the future, you get anxiety.
Oh yeah,
Think about the past is depression.
exactly. So stay right in the present. You'll be just fine.
Absolutely. It's a fine line to balance, though.
Yeah, I mean, I always used to try and like think about what I was gonna say, and then it's like that's gonna fuck everything up. So you just let it roll like you're in an ocean, like rolling on the wave.
Absolutely.
You can try and fight the current, but it's gonna get you nowhere.
Pretty much.
It's basically a Taoist point of view.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, which I've been really kind of into lately.
Same here. Like every time I go, like in reverse, it's like that's not how salmon swim.
Yeah.
You got to keep it rolling.
I love to tell people now my outlook on life, and they hate it. It's like because I really feel like I'm losing my will to do stuff, but I don't think we ever had it. Because like I said, I think I said earlier to you, it's all so much luck. You don't get to choose when you were born, where you were born. You don't get to choose your parents. You don't get to choose any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like the luck of the draw. And if you really study how physics and stuff works, we're just rolling on a wave that's already been moving. And so basically, what's
I
that?
have one beer.
What's up?
Can I have two?
I don't know. It's not up to me.
It's up to James if you want to get some
it's not up
beers.
to me. Yeah,
Really?
you probably don't need one. Drink some water.
Yep, drink some water.
Yeah.
That's
Or a soda. They have sodas here too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But Isaac Newton once said that if you had the position and velocity of everything right now, that classical physics would predict the future. And so, like I said, a lot of people wouldn't think that, and I still think now that we're realizing a lot of with quantum entanglement. Now I'm getting kind of science nerdy about it, but like, there's so much we don't know. And like I said, but it's almost like, you know, just like I said, it's a wave that just keeps on rolling. You don't really have much control of it.
No way.
Mm. But I like it. It kind of gives you that freedom to where you don't have to worry about if you fuck something up. Like, when you fuck something up before, it's like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. But then you just think about it, it's like, oh, this is just what it is. I'm gonna keep on rolling.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm pretty mad about like my family. Like my nephews and my mom and dad, my sister are like in May, June, July, and then I'm all the way out in December.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about having like one gift for birthday and Christmas. I'm like, that just bites.
I don't get any, honest. Oh yeah, no, yeah, okay. I don't get any though, but I don't get anybody gifts, so I don't expect to get gifts. But fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents are the same way, but I had to get them a gift certificate to your restaurant.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then I got my sister. Well, my sister didn't want anything, but my nephews wanted cash and monster trucks because they're still young, like kids. So I'm like, I'll get you 5 monster trucks, and they're so happy.
Mm-hmm.
And like, life could be so simple if people just had 5 monster trucks. Hot Wheels monster trucks.
Yep, you're right.
And then you get older, you gotta pay bills. And
oh my god.
life happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about done paying bills. I'm tired of that shit.
It's the worst. I just got like 3 bills that I gotta worry about, but they just take a dent.
Oh, I know. My truck's the worst, honestly. It's like between my truck payment and insurance, and I need it to run the business, but it's like, there goes my whole paycheck.
What kind of truck do you drive?
Toyota.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, I like Toyota.
Me too. Yeah, Toyotas last a long time.
Oh, yeah, they're reliable for sure.
Is it Tundra?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And my mom was like, had like a midlife crisis.
Mm-hmm.
She saw like a Ford F-150 on the side of the road for like $1,000. You get to drive this one. It was like so old, like 1995. And like the wheels were just like not half, like candling on the rain, not even a little bit. I was just like, this is horrible. And so like my dad goes, yeah, she bought the car when I was on vacation in Colorado, so we need to trade that car back in or sell it for like $800, take a loss. So
yeah, sometimes you gotta just take the loss, honestly.
Got a Honda Accord instead.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like Honda.
Yeah.
That was actually the first car I learned how to drive on. It was a little stick shift. I think it was an '89 Accord.
Awesome.
Nice little car.
They last forever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I got mine used, a 2015 one, but till this day, it's like I've been taking care of it, with oil changes and stuff, and it's like $700 on a full tank.
Oh wow.
Yeah, still.
Oh wow.
That's nice.
Nice.
I used to drive a V6, and that just you only get like 430 on a full tank.
I know. My Toyota's an 8-cylinder, but it's expensive for sure. But it's actually, compared to a lot of the other bigger trucks, it's really not bad. So.
Indeed. Man, you've skated, you've surfed, and like I saw like one of your photos that you had like this really gnarly cut, and it was like blood pouring out. Like, what's the story behind that?
That was a skateboard injury. If it's the photo that I think you're talking about, I honestly don't know what I did. Actually, I was at Bethune Park, and I remember specifically. I was a nerd back then. I mean, I still am, but I remember specifically wanting to go home and get a picture of me so I could post it, and I'm like, I can't wipe the blood off yet. So I just drove home bleeding like that. I was like, and then I started thinking, I was like, God, what a nerdy thing to do. Like, I don't know.
Dude, it was intense, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty good at hurting myself. Been jumping off roofs since I was a little kid. Been in plenty of car accidents. My teeth pop out.
Oh wow, that's gnarly.
Yeah. That was basically I was hit by a drunk driver, but I was also a drunk driver. But this wasn't my fault. But they hit me, and I learned that I should have been wearing my seatbelt. I flew about 25 feet onto my face, broke my nose, my jaw, smashed some teeth, broke my ankle. I was in the hospital for a long time after that. They thought I was never going to be right again, but I hopped back up as soon as I got the cast off. They said I still needed crutches. I got right back on the skateboard.
Man, that's wild.
So, I'm alive and I'm happy with that. So.
Like, I didn't even tell that was like not your real teeth.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. My dentist is awesome. We trade out seafood too, so it works out good. I don't ever have to pay for my dentist work, and that shit's expensive, so it works out good.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Indeed.
In the seafood business, you learn to barter a lot. We started paying. We got our first display cooler, traded clams for it, and then it's always a barter. Is that I bartered crab claws for this sweater.
That's awesome.
It works out good.
Heck yeah. One of my last guests from like Andy Films or like a studio in DeLand, and they were talking about like bartering too. It's like I'll give you this if you give me that, and I'm like, that's the way that the world should work.
It really is, man. I hate all this paper money crap. It's worthless. It's a piece of paper when the real goods are, what you have. So it's crazy.
Indeed. That's what I prefer too. It's like when people want to book me to do like public speaking, I'm like, just cover like, boardroom and travel.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like, don't even give me any money or nothing. Because someone reached out to me asking me if I can do a show in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Holy shit.
It sounds like a cool place to be.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Kalamazoo, I didn't even know that was a real place.
So I'm like, if you can cover that and like not book the following people, then I'll be there. 'Cause, like, if you got beef, then bring the ruckus.
Yep, absolutely.
They should trade beef for some oysters.
Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, clams and oysters were one of the oldest forms of like barter and trade, really. So.
They've been around for a long time.
Oh yeah, yep. The Indians used to be big into the clams and oysters. My dad loves to talk about it because we got Indian in our blood. So I don't look like it, but he does.
Indeed. Wow, that's good stuff. And gosh, sometimes I wish like I was like Dr. Doolittle and like talk to these animals. Like, I hate to see,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially like animals that are like whales that have been around for like hundreds of years, or animals that have been around like tortoises or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They've seen some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Indeed. I joke about like how I look like a Ninja Turtle all the time. It's some of my go-to jokes. Is like sometimes you gotta roast yourself.
Oh, you kind of do. I see it.
And I'm like, and you're a painter and artist, I'm like, if my last name is May, so like my name would be Monet. That's my Ninja Turtle name because they're like Leonardo. And
Yeah. Okay.
Michelangelo.
I got you. I was gonna say, so if you were a Ninja Turtle, which one would you be?
Monet.
Monet.
Yeah. It takes people a while. Like the nerdy artsy folks, they go, oh, we get it.
Yeah.
I love, and I joke about like Master Splinter and like the whole cast too. I'm like, sometimes like they go, you're 40 years old, but you still like you're mid 20s.
Yeah.
Like, what's your secret? And I'm like, it's ooze. It's the secret of the ooze. The Troll Part 2.
That was a great movie. Back when they actually still used costumes. Now everything's all computer animated. So I love the classic costumes.
Oh yeah, same here.
Can you imagine doing a whole movie in that big ass costume? I don't think I could do it.
Indeed, I can't either. But if you have Vanilla Ice in your movie,
Yeah, you're right.
you're good to go. He performs here a lot.
Does he?
Yeah, like Tiffany performs here a lot. It's like it's wild to see like these old, like they're not old, but they're still from the 90s,
Oh, yeah.
80s.
Older than us.
Yeah, older than us. Still going at it. It's great. Yeah, good stuff. Awesome. So we have about 10 minutes left to go.
Cool.
Awesome. So are you having a good time so far?
I am.
Fantastic. This is your first podcast ever.
Yep. I'm a virgin.
Awesome. Good stuff. If you listen to podcasts, if you listen to talk about other people's podcasts. And what other favorite podcasts do you listen to?
Once again, I'm a science nerd these days. I don't know if you're familiar with Lex Friedman, but I really like him because he's not like opinionated. Like some people, they only interview the people that they really are on side with, but he does everybody. He does hard left, hard right. He does just about anything you can imagine. You know what I mean? And just completely open. And so most of them are scientists or some others, but just really interesting people. So
That's why I love doing like podcasts and interviewing people because there's everyone has a story to tell, and we talk about storytellers before we got on. And I'm like, I need to interview like more people that are just like not just comedians.
you should interview my dad.
Really? I should.
That would be a funny one.
That's what I'm gonna start
Well, that's what I told you. He was the storyteller in my life, and I've had people tell me like, you need to tell stories like him. I was like, well, I don't think I ever will. I just don't have it like he does. He's a storyteller.
If we can arrange that, that'd be awesome.
He's
Because
the big fish.
I'm supposed to interview Woody too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
How you do and Woody and everyone?
Well, once again, I met Woody through my brother. So they were in a band, and I was just kind of like the young punk little brother that always was like talking shit whenever they were playing their instruments. And I don't know, he just became family, really.
Awesome. He's such a cool dude. And It's a trip. How
Good
like
drummer.
we talked about Kita and Ben like when we first talked when I was like at the bar, like, and that's how I found out about the farm.
Nice.
'Cause I interviewed Kita at the farm. She see me perform stand up a lot. And
Keita's my neighbor.
Really?
One street over.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. She was gnarly. And one time she was like, he partied too much here at the nOg, and they brought like ding dongs for everyone because like I have a hostess ding dong joke, and she just kept on chucking it at people. And she won't let me down on that one. So
She's awesome. She's just always got that energy, man. I feel like in a lot of the shows, me and her, the first one's out there dancing and the last one's out there dancing. She's awesome.
yeah, she's a wild one. I love her.
She's always smiling. I don't think I've ever seen her upset, honestly.
And Ben showed me that he designed a new app. And did he show you
Yeah,
that?
his game.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, he's making a video game, and it was I don't remember what it was called, but I think it's called Hot Robot, which is funny because that's their band name is. But it's basically it's basically a video game with you're like shooting sex toys, like you're shooting dildos and shit. It's pretty fucking funny, dude. And he showed me the graphics are great, dude. He wants me to be one of the characters actually, and I was like, okay, just let me know when. He wants me to voice one of the characters.
That's neat.
So I'm like, I don't know. My voice is kind of weird, but I think he wants the character to be like my like kind of style, So I don't know. But I'm excited.
We were chopping it up at the other side of the bar, and I'm like, like, you should put a glory hole in that video game.
Yeah, like that's like the secret stage. Once you get, there's definitely something you could do with that. That's funny.
Indeed. He was like, have you ever been to one? I'm like, yeah, I went to the one in West Hollywood once, but I lived out in LA. I was just like, my friend was like, he was get so drunk I'd be his DB. And so like he would hit on me. I'm like, all right, enough of this stuff. And so I took him to like West Hollywood, where like a very gay part of town.
Yeah.
And it was like the glory hole closed because of COVID.
Oh God.
I took him there and he tried to share the same room as me.
Oh God.
Like this is not how it works. We're not supposed to make eye contact.
Yeah, I don't think I want to have nothing to do with that.
So we ran out of there like it was like Scooby Doo. You know when you see the eyes
Yeah.
in the darkness. He ran out of there. So good stuff. But yeah, I'm like, make it like Doom. Like he goes, what does it look like inside? It's very dark. There's like the theater lighting on the ground just so you don't miss your step. Like I give him like the full details, and it smells funny. Just let's go along. Oh man, I love Ben and Keith. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And he showed me his augmented reality app on his phone,
Nice.
and it's like he goes, "All right, I'm gonna take a picture of that or something like that. It's again on the ground, and then he goes, "All right, check this out." He touches the button. There's like a lip pecker, like him and Tucker. They tell you like it's hilarious.
Holy shit.
I love the guy.
Yeah.
I love
He,
people like
he's
that.
he's always got some crazy ideas. It's just out of nowhere. It's like, how did you think of that? You know?
Absolutely. Same here. Oh goodness. Anything planned for the week?
Um, work. It's a busy week, obviously, because everybody's still out of town, or everybody's in town and off work. Kids are out of school, so people holiday festive. They want to eat good. So yeah, and basically in between Christmas and New Year's, we don't ever stop. And I don't have any employees these days, really. So it's like I gotta step in and do a lot of the work. So a lot of work. We were gonna jam in the new ska band tomorrow night, but Mike's going out of town, so that canceled that. But nothing too crazy, just work, crabbing on Wednesday and Friday, oystering on Thursday, running the market all weekend, hopefully making money. And then we're in 2023. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it is crazy. This year like
Just
flew by
like
so
that, in a
fast.
blink of an eye, the year's over. I like it though. I mean, I don't. I love change. I love growing and getting older. Like when I was younger, I didn't want to get older, but now it's like it's exciting.
It really is.
It's an experience.
Can't wait to see what 40 brings because
Yeah.
my late 20s was so much fun. And I say late 20s because I took like 7 years in college. I did like the Tommy Callahan
Oh, nice.
of college. I even got a D in my last semester. And then moved out to LA.
Tommy Callahan, just so I'm right. Is that Tommy Boy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Okay. Cool.
And, like my life was just so much like his because like we got the family business and
Oh
everything.
yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't have to sell brake pads.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that it's so awesome that you're going into the field of entertainment with like bands and comics and stuff. And so like anytime you need me for anything, you let me
I
know.
got you. Yeah, I'm tired of working. I want to have parties and entertainment. That's what I want to do.
Try to get some sponsors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cause like we drive by like International Speedway all the time, and all those business like Advent Health and Seneca and stuff. Like that's how to put the band like the logos in the background or something.
Yep.
They can buy some space.
I like it.
Good stuff. So we got 3 minutes left. Any surprises coming up?
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I don't like to be too surprised, so I try to take everything pretty easy and, like I said, just live in the moment and not worry about what's coming tomorrow. Something's gonna happen tomorrow, and when it happens, I'll be there for
So
it.
for sure. Any special shout outs you'd like to give out to the YouTubers?
Oh gosh, I wasn't ready for this. Oh, my family, everybody in the business working with me, pops and mom, wouldn't be here without them. And that's about it, really.
Absolutely. Good stuff.
I
And
don't know. I could probably go on, but we don't need to do that.
indeed. I made sure to put your Facebook and Instagram on
Cool.
your description box below. So,
Cool.
and the nods too.
Cool. Awesome.
So it's like high tides raise all ships. I
Mm-hmm.
might as well put all everyone's involved.
Yep. The tide waits on no man.
Indeed. Good stuff. So did you have a fun time?
I did.
Awesome. I had a fun time too. It was great to get to know you too.
Yeah.
And can't wait to work with you in the near future.
I like it.
Yep. And if you need me in January and February, you just let me know, and we'll get some kind of shows booked in there.
I got you.
Because the background is so dope.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, man. Let's blow this spot up, man. I just got started here. That was our third show, and I want to have shows every month, all year. I mean, sometimes 2 or 3 times a month, honestly. So we're gonna build it up. Hopefully, by the middle of next year, we'll really have something big going there.
Awesome. Good stuff. Awesome stuff. Well, this is the second to last episode of Project Nog. and I'll make sure to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. I just need two more subscribers and get 600. Yeah, awesome. All right, Tristan, thanks so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. You're welcome, bud. And we'll see you at the next episode. Sweet. Awesome. Good stuff.